Biden blew off oil producers today. He left a sit-down meeting to Energy Secretary Jenny Granholm. But the president did make time to stop by an event with labor leaders and green energy leaders, windmill makers. Joining me now, Price Futures Group Senior Account Executive Phil Flynn. He's also a Fox Business contributor. Phil, what do you make of that?
I think that President Biden did not want to face the oil company executives face to face, after he basically maligned them for the last couple of months. And as he said, when Mike Wirth, responded very strongly, Mike Wirth, of course, the CEO of Chevron, responded very strongly, with facts. The president said, I didn't want to see their feelings get hurt. So he's really totally out of touch with the global energy market. And let's face it, I am sure that the windmill providers probably donated more money to his campaign than the oil companies did. That's for sure.
Indeed. And again, it's very clear if you listen to these people, even the energy secretary, they have no idea how oil gets out of the ground and is refined into usable fuel for the American people and really the world. Again, they went to, based on the FT reporting, they went to the energy industry and they didn't quite understand why they couldn't just flip some switches in terms of shale production and just start pumping more oil immediately.
It really is. And I think Energy Secretary Granholm today, she did seem conciliatory from what I've read. It seems like she learned a lot when she had a very frank conversation with these refiners. Listen, the refiners are the unsung heroes of this gasoline market right now. They're producing gasoline. They're refining it at the highest rate in years. And that's even when the government has been telling them not to for the last couple of years. They were telling these guys, quit making oil and gas. We want you making biofuels. And they say, okay, let's do that. Let's spend a lot of money and do that. And at the same time, they put on drilling moratoriums and make it harder for them to drill oil. And I think Mike Wirth said it best. Listen, he goes, Mr. President, make your policies. We need clarity and consistency. But let's face it, they've got neither from this administration when it's come to energy policy.
I think they all know that it's going to require somebody else in the White House before they get that, potentially. But, Phil, I want you to listen to this. This is Peter Doocy, who was asking Karine Jean-Pierre, the White House spokesperson, about Biden skipping the energy meeting today. Listen to this.
The president isn't really doing everything he can to bring gas prices down, is he?
I feel like there's is there something else to the question?
Oh, there's a lot to the question.
Oh, okay. Well,
for example,
yeah.
As you mentioned earlier, he's meeting today with people installing offshore wind equipment, but not oil and gas CEOs who are rarely ever in town, but they are today. So how did that help lower gas prices?
Well, the president has done a, so let me step back for a second.
But
no.
With offshore wind
you're
folks,
asking
and
me.
not with gas.
You're asking me the question.
CEOs, how does that lower gas prices? You said he's done everything in his power. They were a mile away.
Peter, you're asking me a question. May I answer?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Well, there is no answer. And Phil, Biden could take regulatory steps, which the Wall Street Journal editorial page wrote about. He could ease the refinery problems by reducing the renewable fuel mandates that indirectly have put some smaller refinery operations out of business. He could issue a waiver on the Jones Act for transporting fuels. None of that.
Yeah. Right. And these are things that did come up in this meeting today. And from what we've heard, I guess Jennifer Granholm did suggest that one of the things that they will consider is that waiving of that summertime blends gasoline situation. That's something that can be done. The Jones Act, of course, is something that comes up time and time and again. I think, Dagan, you and I have been talking about this for 20 years. Whenever there's tight supplies, we're like, why can't we bring in more oil from one port to another? It's because of this Jones Act. It does seem like that's outlived its usefulness. It is time to reevaluate that law, but there's too many special interests trying to keep that going. As long as that's in place, we're going to run into this situation once again.
Even this gas tax holiday idea was just embarrassingly dismissed by major Democrats because everybody knows, if anything, it might just juice demand at a time when supplies are so tight, which economics says is just moronacy, number one. Number
Right.
two, it really looks like the plan is for the United States, this is the left-wing liberal plan, to go the way of California. And there's a report where California's gas prices, because of all of the restrictions, the environmental regulations, there's a plan to ban new gasoline-powered car sales by 2035. And Los Angeles City Council members want to ban new gasoline stations.
These are crazy goals, and the problem is it's not based in reality. I mean, listen, right now California can't even keep their lights on today. Can you imagine if they're trying to charge, you know, 1 million electric cars a day or more? And listen, you know, there might be a breakthrough in technology in the future that's going to change the dynamic, but let's face it. Electric cars are not ready for prime time. They're not strong enough to carry the economy. They don't have the type of range that we need to be consistently. And listen, this move to electric cars, I love electric cars. They're awesome. I want one. They go really fast. I want a Tesla. But at the same time, the reality is it's a less efficient technology. It will make the economy work not as efficiently, and it's going to cost people a lot of money.
Right, and alert, you need fossil fuels like natural gas to provide the electricity to charge the damn things. So I don't know what planet they're living on, but...
I don't either, but whatever planet it is, it better have a lot of wind to keep the wind farms going, because wind is not scalable enough to meet the energy needs, especially if we're going to electrify the entire driving fleet in this country.
The battery technology does not exist to store the energy produced by wind and solar at this point. Phil Flynn, love you to death. You keep fighting the fight with fact.
You, dear.
Oh, speaking of morons and dopes, I said Shannon Bream's show is on at 11 p.m. No, that's Greg Gutfeld's show. Gutfeld, exclamation point. Shannon's on at midnight. So I must issue that correction to the dear Shannon Bream. Phil, thank you so much. Good to see you.